Go ahead, I got you.
Sean Patrick for 103.7 WMGM. I'm sitting here, actually standing here, with Jim Kelly, Hall of Famer, Buffalo Bill quarterback. Welcome to us, South Jersey.
I appreciate it. Thanks for I guess, having me. Maybe it wasn't you, but it's exciting to come here and see all the fans, and more importantly, I like to look at all the art. That's some pretty nice stuff out there. I have to definitely make my time and find a little time to walk around and check it out.
Nice. Now, it is Fantasy Football Fest 2012. Do you play fantasy football by any chance?
No, I don't.
No. What are your thoughts about fantasy football? I know some players, will, and I play fantasy football, will shout out to a player, you killed me this week or whatever. Do you think it brings more of an experience in the NFL, or does it hinder?
No, I think it helps. It helps, I think, fans to be more involved in not just one team in particular. They get to check out other teams and really watch other games because of the outcome of their fantasy team might depend on who scores and the yardage and how many catches somebody has. So it's interesting to see how everybody gets so excited about it. But I'm too busy for that.
Now, going back into your career, you came out of college and instead of going to the NFL, you went to the USFL. Why did you make that decision?
How much time do you have on that tape? Well, probably the main reason is I get to go to a place where it's a dome stadium. The money was better back then when coming out of college, guaranteed. You know what? I've always been a little bit of a rebel, anyways. Do something people don't think I'm going to do. So it was worth it because I get to throw the ball 40, 50 times a game and really learn to pass it.
Now, Buffalo Bills, again, an amazing offense, early 90s, of course, going to 4 Super Bowls. You're in the Hall of Fame. I also read, I did not know, you're the only Buffalo Bill to have the number retired as well. But you played with some great offensive weapons. You have Andre, Thurman, Thomas, just a ton of players that are not in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. What is the one player that you played with that you think should be in there?
Well, we had James Lofton also. He was one of my wide receivers. Marv Levy, our coach, went to the Hall of Fame. But the guy that he'll make it, it's just a matter of time, Andre Reed. I mean, the guy's been on the ballot for, I think, 5 years now, and he still isn't in. But also, you look across the board, you have not only him, but you have Chris Carter and Tim Brown, 3 guys right there that were in the era that you didn't throw the ball as much as they do nowadays. And it's a sin that they're not in, all 3 of them, including especially Andre.
All right, so we're from a rock station, WMGM, down here in Atlantic City. What type of music does Jim Kelly listen to?
I'm a classic rock guy. I don't know, were you classic rock or you hard rock?
We do new rock, we do classic rock, we do all rock. So.
I grew up with Peter Frampton and Foreigner and Boston, Kansas, all the Doobie Brothers, Journey, all the good oldies. And then I'm a country west. I love country music. I'm country western now. A long time ago. I'm a country fan. I just came from Blake Shelton concert, Tim McGraw, Kenny Chesney, Montgomery Gentry is probably one of my favorites. So all across the board, but I'm not a big rap guy, to be honest.
I'm glad to hear you say that.
Not at all. Sorry.
All right.
Kids' music nowadays, it's a little different than what I'm accustomed to or what I like.
All right, so one last question before we let you go. Quarterbacks, heavily protected nowadays in the NFL. You guys weren't so protected back then. What's your opinion on the rules of protecting a quarterback in the NFL in 2012?
Smart thing to do. People pay money to watch their team win, and when your top-notch player goes down, especially if he's a quarterback, the odds of you making the playoffs are not very good. And they're doing everything possible to protect him. And some people say they protect him maybe a little bit too much. Ask the question to that person that says that if their quarterback got knocked out of the game, how disappointed they would be. So that pretty much will solve that. Quarterbacks are what puts people in the stands, even though, yeah, good hard hitting, and I'm all for it. But you got to protect the guy that really makes that game exciting.
All right, so we're going to close this interview out. I'm an Eagles fan now, but I grew up a Dolphins fan, and I just want to say you ruined the Niners for me. You killed it.
Well, as soon as you mentioned the Dolphins, I knew I didn't like you. If you leave right now, it'd be probably the best thing.
I will say this. Dolphins fan, I love Dan Marino, but I loved watching you run that offense in your 90s. And not only was I a Dolphins fan, I was a football fan, and you guys were just amazing.
Well, did you know that, back when I played against the Dolphins, their stadium used to be called Joe Robbie Stadium. You know what they called that stadium up in Buffalo when I played? Rich Stadium South. Because our stadium was called Rich Stadium. And when we go down there, there'd be more fans from Buffalo there than there would be Dolphin fans. And we used to whoop up on you guys.
Yes, you did.
I'll stop there.
There's a hole in my parents' wall that I bedroom I was in because of the Dolphins Bills playoff.
You ain't even old enough to be able to watch those games back then. How old are you?
36. I was watching it back then. Okay, that's cool. Jim, thank you so much. And it's been a pleasure.
My pleasure.
Thanks, man.